my schooling is basically, well, what are you doing? Because like for me, I go and volunteer at a lot of different things, or I've interned at a lot of different things that I like and that I'm passionate about. Like I did aquaponics and beekeeping and just random little things. But that counted as my schooling because I was doing something productive. So I could skip out on my usual schoolwork to go do something like that. But right now, I have found, I guess, my next passion, which is like social media marketing and management, and just being in that whole realm of things. So I'm working right now as my school. I went to Montessori school for, I think, kindergarten. That was the only time. I've been homeschooled pretty much my whole life.
I don't actually like the term homeschool because it suggests that we just take school and we put it at home. That's not what happened with you, it sounds like. What did home learning look like for you?
I was homeschooled originally because my family really wanted to travel around. So it was important for us that we could move around. It started off as like paper books and kind of doing that. And we did online learning. Right now, I'm at an accredited high school online. And that's kind of what I do on top of my work stuff. I've always volunteered or interned or done something along with my regular like schoolwork. But it's not super strict as well. It's not like I have to do this and that, at least now, because I have so many side jobs.
Do you feel like you have enough time to do like some of the conventional stuff that will help you on your next steps in on your pathway, and you have time to do all these other things that you love, that you can put your passion into and explore?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely a balance for sure that I'm still working out. But yeah, I would like to graduate high school and get that degree. Although now, the more I work, the more I realize that it's not super necessary anymore, but I still want to do that. So, yeah.
So what online program are you doing now?
I do a Celis Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And they're all pre-recorded videos and tests and stuff like that. So I can do it at my own pace, which is really nice. So it makes it really easy.
Yeah, I'm more interested in what you do outside of that, though. I mean, you mentioned the social media marketing stuff. What does that mean in practice? What are we talking about?
Well, it kind of all started out because I interned with Joanna Hay Productions. I interned as basically a grip, which is, grunt work, getting coffee, running upstairs and hauling in equipment and stuff like that. But I loved it because it was,
how old were you?
I don't know, maybe that was a while ago, like 2-3 years ago. Okay. So it was, 14, 15. Yeah. But I got to know Joanna, who is an incredible woman. She does a lot of really cool documentaries and a lot of projects in the community because I was really into photography. So I connected with her. And through her, I was kind of sitting as they were shooting the scene, and I ran into Ambi Hay, who is her sister. And this all comes back, I promise. But and I ran into her, and she said, "Oh yeah, I have this huge Instagram following." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." And I looked her up, and I was like, "Hey, you're not doing stories." And I'm like, that's like a brand new thing, and you would get a lot of followers. She's like, "How do you do that?" And I showed her how to do it. It was like maybe 10 minutes. And then I, never thought about it for a year later. And then I get like a phone call like a year later, like, "Hey, this is Ambi. Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "Hi, okay." But from there, she really wanted to learn how to do Reels and Instagram and how to grow her following and how to make money at it. And that was something that I was like, yeah, that's something that I grew up with and I know how to teach that. And I'm like, that's super easy. I enjoy doing that. So every week I'd meet up and I'd teach her how to make a reel or do a reel and like ways she could grow her following and like different ideas. And from there it grew into like, hey, you really need a website. And I put together a website and then it's like, hey, you know what would be great? Products. Hey. And then it turned into e-commerce and all that jazz, and helped her publish a book. And like through that, I learned an immense amount. I even went to Florida for just a week just to help her work and stuff like that. And I got paid for it. And that was really cool. And I got to collaborate with a lot of people that are just fascinating. I've gotten a lot of contacts from that. So that's why I do social media marketing for I freelance to a company called Foolproof Creative. And I do their social media marketing for a festival called Bourbon on the Banks, which is a 2-day festival in October, 22nd, 23rd, and it's surrounded around bourbon. So I market for them. And then through that, And then through that, I found podcasting guys. They do bourbon. And they're like, hey, you're really good. You want to learn how to podcast? I'm like, sure, that sounds great. So I'm going to intern with them, a paid internship, and learn how to do that. It just keeps going and going. It's just like, I just get to meet so many incredible people.
Making me think like, why would you want to go to college to do marketing when you can, by 17, have like 2 or 3 years of this amazing experience? And you've got this portfolio that, you know, like people would be so happy to have, you know, even leaving college, and you're not even at college age yet.